she comes into this man's life. This man who has worked very hard and sacrificed for his fortune. This man has made a fortune, and if he wants to enjoy it by drinking all day and doing coke and doing MDMA and traveling and then, like, you know, living a life, then God bless him. I support him in that, because people who have that level of fame and that level of money are in rarefied air. The common man and woman does not get to access that world ever. They barely ever even get to witness it in person. We, living in Los Angeles, are lucky enough to get to sniff it, just barely. A guy like that, it's like what pisses me off when I see Leonardo DiCaprio or J.J. Abrams pulling up in a Honda hybrid. Like, listen, asshole, you got so much fucking money, just buy the fucking nice car. You got so much money, just buy the nice car.
Actually, I feel like I should get a nicer car. I should get a nicer car. I do have a career now in tech again. I deserve a nicer car. I have the Honda, and I see the message. But about the drinking going crazy, I mean, look, I think that I think he does need to have an intervention, but it's not up to her to do it. It's supposed to be interventions. It's supposed to come from a place of love, and the place that she's coming is from the bank. That girl is there to collect. She's much like the government. She's just there to be like, what is my part? What I'm getting out of this? She should be an accountant, if for more I can say, but not a savvy one, because she doesn't understand the rules of the abiding to the law. So honestly, I think that Johnny Depp does deserve an intervention, but it should have come from someone that really loves him. Be like, hey, Johnny, your health. Because, like, let me be honest. Ray Liotta, the guy from Goodfellas, one of the best actors of all times, died of age of 65. He's younger than my mom. And he died. He probably didn't have a healthiest lifestyle. So I wonder, like, I think celebrities that are precious to people like him or Johnny Depp, even though they want to enjoy their life, I think they should find a balance. But the people to tell them to balance should not be the people that are stealing their money. Should be the people that actually loves them, they have children with them. They'll be like, hey, fucker, we have like 4 kids or 2 kids or whatever, 1 kid, and I want you alive to see the kid going to college. You should be able to tell your love that you want them to live. Because honestly, I think it was too soon to Ray Liotta to die, and I Google, and it seems like he had a very unhealthy lifestyle. And I think that if he took it easy, we probably will be seeing him in Goodfellas, the remake that Scorsese is talking about making for a long time.
I haven't heard that Scorsese is making a Goodfellas remake, but listen, here's the thing. Who in Johnny Depp's life, who are any of those people to step in and tell him he needs an intervention? The guy...
I think the mother, his kids and the friends...
No. They're all sucking off of his teat. Johnny Depp is the man in his life. He's made the money. He's the star. He is the reason any of those people have anything going on. And he still has it together. And if Amber Heard didn't try to assassinate his character, he'd still be making Pirates of the Caribbean movies to this day. He's got his life under control enough, and he's made his money. He should be able to live how he wants to, and you know, party, do whatever the hell he wants. Because you know what?
But she didn't say that out of a place of love.
He reminds me.
She says that and out of a place of she did to trigger him to get the recordings.
I know exactly. She's hassling him. Just let the guy have a good time as he wants, because she's living off of him too. He reminds me.
Talk about the Pica wine is because he found out about James Franco and she was cheating him, or her. She was cheating him.
Yeah, listen.
That's why he drinks Pica wine.
I know. No, he does. He spends a lot of money on wine every month, like a fortune. He spends most people's yearly salary on wine in a month, and that's great because he can afford it. He's, to me, the new CHARLIE SHEEN. And remember, everyone was coming down on CHARLIE SHEEN because he was partying too much and he was the highest paid actor on television. But meanwhile, he was showing up to work. He was getting the job done. Yeah, sometimes he was a little hungover and they had to redo a couple takes. But overall, he got the job done. And you know what? It's been 12 or 13 years since the big CHARLIE SHEEN scandal with 2.5 Men, and the guy's doing just fine. Does he have AIDS? Yeah. But is it under some kind of control? It sure is. and he still is working here and there, and he hasn't like put on weight. He looks almost exactly the same. Everything turned out fine. To me, everyone that was trying to step in and tell Charlie Sheen what to do has been proven wrong. And the same will happen with Johnny Sheen Depp.
I think Johnny Depp looks a little bigger and he looks a little older. Joe Rogan said he looked terrible. Well, for me, I mean, I don't agree with that. I don't think it looks terrible. I think he has a great skin and great genes. Must be something in his genes that it keeps him going well. It's a little scary that Dante's saying that everyone that makes that much money can do whatever the fuck they want. I don't know if I want to be here to see Dante being successful. Maybe I'll leave. Call me.
I'm talking about
206.
I'm talking about a guy who's probably got a couple $100 million. I'm not anticipating acquiring that in my lifetime. If I do, it'll be different. But I'm talking about a stratosphere that most people don't reach. It just annoys me to see people, not you, but just normal people sitting there saying, oh, Johnny shouldn't do this, he shouldn't do that. What do you know about a life at that level?
Well, it's not about the life at the level. That means that the goal is to keep the life at the level to continue so he doesn't die prematurely, because like happens for so many stars, especially from the 1940s and all the way up to recently. You think about Marilyn Monroe. She was as far as we know, if it's not a murder from the JFK or the FBI or whatever, a killer, if it's not the case, which is a conspiracy theory, she overdosed in sleeping pills. Or Judy Garland died at a premature age too. She was in her late 40s. But I'm saying like, or like how I say Hugh Ledger or whatever, he died, and then Amy Winehouse and Kurt Cobain. There's something about those people that they made a lot of money, they go too crazy. The loss is for society and the families, because we lose those wonderful stars. And I think if it comes from a place I actually worry and care for the person's life, then it's okay. But I don't think Amber Heard had any of that. She doesn't give a damn or two shits about his personal life. She doesn't care. For as far as I know, she probably wanted him to die, so can leave all the money for her. But one of the things she actually allegedly said in the trial, let me say something. She said that she's not in the will for his life. She is not on the will. But there's clips of her that she was upset that she was not in his will. So this is what I think she did. She married him knowing that she's not a straight person. She married him, and then she tried to check the will, and she was not in his will. So she's like, fuck, I thought this fucker is about to die like in a few years, and I'm gonna get my money and live my best life. And then the guy is not dying. The guy didn't leave any money for her, and honestly, she's probably thinking like, I'm gonna ruin the fun, even though she is a crazy party junkie, crazy person. Because a lot of the discussion she was in, he said that she was also in the pills and drinking and smoking and doing all this shit. So she probably got mad because she's like, oh, let this crazy guy die soon so I can get all the money for myself. And that didn't happen, and that made her mad. And that stuff in a trial, it's in a trial, guys. Google on YouTube. She's not in a will.
I know. Getting back to this whole people should step in and intervene, and it's like, who's to say whether he's happy or unhappy? Who knows if he even wants to keep living to like an old age? He might not even want that, and we're just sitting here assuming that for him. And it's pretty presumptuous of us to think that he would be happier or even happy at all to live some cleaned up life where he's not drinking all day and partying and having a good time. Like, how do we know that he would be happier that way? He might want to go out like Hunter S. or someone else. This might be what gives him life. He likes to make movies, and then he likes to enjoy life under the influence. It's very presumptuous, bordering on rude, for all of us to think that we know what's better for Johnny.
I think that if you have kids, and he seems to be a loving father, his daughter is very close to her, I think and she looks just like him, by the way. I think, like, you know, I would think that if you love someone, you want them to live a long life with you. But I don't know. But as a matter of fact, it's not like people are interviewing, and the government is like, don't do that. It's more about the way he was behaving, which is also, I mean, I don't want to give Amber Heard any positives for anything that she's done. She seems like a terrible person. But he does look like that he is problematic himself. And it looks like she brought the worst of him out, like, which is really weird to me, because it almost comes in that theory. Is like, does some people really bring the worst of us, or the worst of us is always there in a dormant stage and someone activating triggers? Because, you know, I don't know if people are lying about him, but previous relationships seems like the guy was fine. And then with her, and I saw the videos, and it was really worrisome. I'm like, I would not want to be married to this guy. But I don't think, maybe she brought the worst. Maybe she just, I don't know. But I'm not trying to blame her. But they both seem to be a terrible match for each other. I don't know what he was thinking. He likes small, petite women, right? He was with Winona Ryder. He was with Kate Moss. He was with the French woman that he was married to. I forgot her name, God forbid, sorry. But, you know, why will you be with Amber Heard? She's bigger, she's taller, she's like more masculine. Maybe she brought masculine energy out of him. Maybe he treated her like a dude.
Right. Well, anyways, I don't have much else to say about this case, but I'm curious to see what the jury decides. We'll update when that happens.
Okay, just to close it out, I do think it's pretty bizarre that in America, a court case is aired on TV like that and is broadcasted. Like, isn't that supposed to... I think if I was a celebrity, I would want my trial case to be private. I don't want anyone to know. People cannot come with cameras. I don't want this to be a public matter. I want it to be private. So I think it's very bizarre to me to see this. It's so weird. Like, how can this be aired? How can this be out there? And then, is there a way to protect our privacy, like, from the law? Like, does it really have to be a public shaming session? I disagree with that greatly.
You know what, though? They're actors. They love the attention. He loves showing up to court every day. He's in there having a good time. He's laughing. She's in there also smiling here and there. She loves putting on her performance when she gets on the stand. And they're having a good time. Secretly, sickly, they enjoy all of this being in the news, you know. And I don't know how the legal system works exactly. I'm sure you could probably petition the court to keep it private.
I think they're enjoying it.
But they're enjoying it. They love the attention because they're narcissists. They're attention whores. You have to be, in order to reach that level of stardom, you have to be like an at any cost, get the attention on myself type of personality. And this is just another way. Even if it's almost like they can compartmentalize. Yes, deep down, this is probably painful and real for them, but when they show up to court, they're also on stage. And so there's like a dual existence within the both of them going on every day in court. Like, yes, this is real. Yes, it's got real world consequences. But while the trial's on, they're going to enjoy having the spotlight on them.
I never really thought about that, actually, but I think Dante is absolutely correct. I met Dante in an acting class. You guys can see in our previous videos and podcasts. And he's absolutely correct. I think there's something sickly about actors overall, that even though this destroying their character, I saw images of him smiling and joking. She was smiling and joking. It's like, in the end of the day, it's like this is the performance of their lives. And in a sickly, fucked up Hollywood way, they are getting a little bit of a thrill out of this awful thing that they did to each other. They torture each other. They drove each other to like craziness and court and legal system. And here they are smiling their way out of it, being like, we made it. This is the performance of our lifetimes. And it's so fucked up. Honestly, it's fucked up.
And really, they're performing a public service by publicizing this trial, putting it on TV, because there's so many people on Twitter and people with no lives, nothing going on themselves, that have turned this into their thing. They're either justice for Johnny or Amber is, telling the truth. Whatever side they come down on, they're dunking on each other online. They're dunking on Johnny's lawyers. They're dunking on Amber's lawyers. They're hashtagging. It's creating some kind of weird little community. It happens. And you know what? The stakes are fairly low for us as a society. What ultimately the ruling is, it's just basically about Johnny. He knows she doesn't have $50 million to pay him, but it's about him proving a point, which is important. But in terms of this being like something that would go to the Supreme Court and change the law of the land, no, it's not on that level. So it's light, fluffy fun, and it's a great thing that they're doing this for all of us. Thanks, everybody, for listening, and we'll see you on our next video podcast. Or you'll see us, I should say. So long.